Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Come on in and grab a seat and join us today. We are in an event called A Gift for Dad. So you can imagine what we're doing today, right? We're going to do some things for Dad, and I'm going to make a fun card. It's going to be a gift card holder and a fun card. How about that? So, and if you've watched me for a while, you might have seen me already do this a time or so. But it's always fun. Not everybody has seen it, and you got to remember how to do it, right? That's always how that goes. I'm just gonna pop in here and get myself shared to a couple of spots, and then I'll be good to go. Tell me where you're watching from today. I would love to know. And now I'm good to go. I gotta make sure I can see my comments. So I am just second in our event today. So first up was Christina with Creating with Christina, and then I'm up next, and then after me is going to be Deborah from Sacred Soul. And then we've got a whole long lineup for the whole rest of the day, you guys. So I hope that you will stick with us, pop over into the group and watch over there, and that way it's the easiest place. You can just see everybody. All you have to do is refresh your browser between people, and then you're good to go. So that's always fun to have an easy way to watch something fun, right? And spend your crafty day with us. And you can always go back and watch the replays. That's always a nice thing about watching somewhere where there's going to be some replays available. So there's all kinds of things, and it doesn't necessarily have to be for a dad. Sometimes we have all kinds of you know what? Hey, you guys, just one second. I just got some message from, okay, they're just going to be outside. Nothing like having people let you know that they're going to be outside, right? But that's nice. At least they're just going to be outside. So there we go. I thought they were wanting to stop by. We were going to have some work done. And I'm like, no, I didn't say that. This is my time with some crafty friends, not guys coming to do work around the house. There's a time and place for everything, right? And this isn't for that. So let's go ahead and get going. I'm going to put you down here to the desktop, our work area. Oh, let me one more sip of coffee, and then we'll get going here. Okay. So, oh my goodness, I got that crazy thing. Oh, you guys, okay, hang on. Please hold. Hopefully I can get this fixed. Now you're going to get to see my crazy ceiling. Okay, better. Much better. You guys, did you get to see my ceiling? How fun is that? I didn't make it. This house is not young, and whoever the original owner was, oh, here we're doing that again. The original owner, she evidently really loved green, and every time I turned around, I was finding more green here in the house. And so, that's okay. That's fine. You can either cover it up, change it, or do something, right? But anyway, I love a lot of the things. We're not sure how many times that they added on here. Okay, we're going to first start with a card. We're going to do a card, and I'm going to do something different. I'm going to actually do a square card today, and this is going to be a 6x6 card. And I just thought that it would be, and you can find 6x6 envelopes, but I want to tell you, it does cost a little bit more to send them. If you make a square card, it's going to cost a little bit more, but hey, I don't mind. And a lot of times we're just handing something to somebody anyway, right? So let's see. Let me look here. We got all kinds of people popping in. Thanks for being here, everybody. So glad to have you all join us today. And I'm just going to go ahead and get going. So if I don't mention you by name, know that I'm excited that you're here. How about that? Okay. First, I'm going to go ahead and do the card base. I got this fun little workshop graphic, and this is actually one of the things in my latest, greatest, my printable for this month, my collection. So this month we've got a, since I know this part straight, I'm gonna go from there. This week we have a sewing, or this month we've got a sewing shop and a workshop. And I thought, well, that's kind of fun. Why wouldn't I just go ahead and use that for my card? And we're going to fix something to where it's a gift card. Our gift is going to be a gift card, okay? And it's going to fit into what we're doing. And it's not going to be just your normal little pocket. Oh, you guys, I got raggedy edges. Raggedy edges! Oh my goodness. Hi, Lisa. Cindy, Barbara. I saw Kathy was watching. Okay. What are you guys up to? Besides watching some crafty ideas for the day. Okay, so we've got this. And I'm just going to glue it on the base. I'm just going to grab a glue stick. If I can find it. Where's the glue stick? That irritates me. I do not know. Oh, maybe I can pull. Oh, that's terrible. I know that about the only way that I can completely fix that is to just turn it off and on. You know what? I'm going to. Hang on one second, you guys. Let me just start this over. I'm going to change you. I'm going to change you to me. Okay. I'm going to fix this real quick, you guys. Let's visit while we do it, okay? You know, there's always something crazy, right? So did you see Christina was in her kitchen? She was whipping up some stuff for her dad. And you know, what kinds of things can you do that for a dad? You know, sometimes don't you think that dads are sometimes harder to deal, to come up with gifts and ideas for, or guys, than it is women? I think so anyway. Okay, I'm just gonna, when this kind of stuff happens, it's so annoying. But usually if I just start it over, I can get a whole better, there we go, a whole better look, a different outlook. Okay, let's try that one, you guys. There we go. Just gotta straighten me up. At least the white isn't just blowing us. There we go. Phew! See, I told you if I started it over, it would probably be better. Now, did I cut my paper? That's, if it sticks off, I can always turn it over and then trim off the edge afterwards, right? Okay. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Hi, Lori, Ramona. Car repaired. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you. What in the world? I got it. a test of strength, getting a cap off of a glue stick. Who'd have thunk it? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Yeah, Stephanie says yes, they are, because they're always going, I don't need anything. Well, Mr. Adventure around here, he has started telling everybody he doesn't really want things. If he wants something, he wants it to be like some kind of a service, or, something that he can use or do, that he doesn't want stuff. And, I think that a lot of us, as time goes on, I think a lot of people can agree with that. You just have stuff. Now, as crafters, I'm not sure we would ever say that, right? Oh, Christina is watching from Wisconsin. Christina, we probably used to be neighbors. I lived up in Minnesota for about 28 years. We thought we were going to go there for a couple of years, you guys. My husband's work transferred us up there. They had a headquarters at that time, and so he was going to go work up there for a while. Now, the important thing, make sure I have my card facing the right direction. Okay, we got it. First step, complete. The card is facing the right way. And you know, when you use a glue stick on such a large piece like that, it's a lot easier to get it down and get it flat, and you don't have to worry about, you know, bumps and bubbles. So there we go. Ta-da! Look at that. A little workshop. You know, you could just send it like that, right? Just open it up and write a little note. That'd be a perfect card like that. Perfect. A perfect card. Okay, now let's move on. Now we are going to make we're going to make a shirt to put on this. We're going to make a work shirt. So let's take a piece of paper. I printed this, and I just went ahead and did it edge to edge so that I didn't have to trim off any edges. And now I'm going to, and you guys, if you can write these down now or later when we're done, I will put the information in the description, or I'll make a post with it and give you the dimensions, okay? So that you don't have to do that. And then also, it will also be on my website, myartfuladventures.com. It'll be on my website. I'll make a post, and then it'll have the all of the things there, and so you can get all of the dimension, or yeah, the dimensions that we're going to cut and the fold lines and all that kind of stuff, okay? And you'll be good to go. So first of all, we need a piece of paper that is 6.5 by 9.5. So let's cut this down, 6.5 by 9.5. And it can be a paper that is either double-sided or single-sided. I printed this. Okay, so 6.5 by 9.5. So it'll work with just a regular piece of, you know, printer paper, right? You can print some kind of thing on there. I printed this so it kind of looked like a piece of chambray, and you know, it's going to look like a good work shirt. How about that? So now we've got that, and now we need to, I think pretty much all the rest of these, you can just hand fold. Now that I think of it, I don't even think that I do measurements like that, like measure them. I just fold, okay? So this is, because you know, this is really kind of an origami type thing. Let me pull this down so we can see. There we go. So we're just going to fold it in half once. So when you're done, you'll see why even if you had a print on one side of the sheet, it wouldn't even matter, okay? You will, you'll be able to use a white side inside if you wanted to do that. Okay, so now we're going to open this up. See, and it would have been easier if you could have seen white on the other side. But we're going to fold it over, and now we're going to make this line. We're going to fold it so we come up to the line here. Oh, you guys, I even am having trouble seeing this. So we're going to put this to the line, the fold line. You know what? Hang on one second. Nope, I printed both of them. I printed both of them double-sided in case you know me, sometimes I have to fix something. That's pretty good. Okay. I'm just going to leave that one folded and pull this one over. So we're going to do both sides folded to the center. What's the matter here? How could folding be this hard? It's not. It's not. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't have them overlapping. That's good. Okay, so we've got them folded like that. And now we're going to open it up like this, and at the top edge, you want to fold down. We got to fold it this way. Fold it so your opening is on the back. Turn it this way. Fold down about 1/2 inch. Okay, just like this. And it doesn't have to be exact. Just gonna get it straight. Okay, so fold it down like that. And now then you're gonna fold it, turn it back on this side, and bring this side down Now this is gonna be the collar. So you're gonna fold it like this and bring it to the center fold. Man, I'm glad I didn't do anything heavier than like printer paper, you guys. And then just fold that down. Do the same here. And so since it's the collar, you'll want them to be kind of even, right? And then just press this down along there. Whew, I actually feel like I'm building a shirt. I don't think, you know what, this is, well, and this isn't really very even here. That's okay. Okay, now then, so we got our collar. Okay, now then you're going to take the bottom and you're going to put it like right here. Wait a second. Nope. Yes. Flip this up here and put it under the collar. And then just give it a crease down here. Like this. Whew. Man. Did you know you were going to do fake sewing today? Okay, now take this back out. And actually, you know, can you see this? No, it doesn't look so bad here. It's kind of longer from here to here than over here. And I want it to be more even. So I'm just going to adjust it and look at it and make sure it's even. I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to take my bone folder, and then I'm just going to make sure that this is pressed like that, okay? Because remember, you're the boss of your own paper. So we want that like that. Now, unfold this. Now you're going to take this, and from this fold that we made here, you're going to take this here, bend it out at that fold, this little flap, and then you want it to end down here at this corner. Okay, and then just give it a nice little press like that, and do that on both sides. And it's okay, it doesn't have to be exact, okay? Don't worry about it being just exact right there at this center part. And I did a boo-boo. I tried too hard to make it exact, and I got a tiny little tear, and it's not gonna matter. Don't worry about it. So now then, hang on a second. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now when we put it back up here, now we've got sleeves. Isn't that the cutest thing? Now we got sleeves. And so now, what we're going to do is, this is how it becomes a gift card. It can be a gift card like this. So you would need to take this out. Okay. Okay, and then you can just put your gift card right here. And how appropriate that we've got the Home Depot gift card for our workshop. And then it just tucks in like this. Maybe just bend that collar back down a little bit there. And then just smooth it down there. And then it can go right here on top at our workshop. How about that? But this looks rather plain. We have no buttons or anything, right? So what you can do is you can take a pencil or marker or whatever you want to use, a pen, and you can draw a couple of lines to make like the placket on the shirt, right? Or at least one kind of off to the side. So to do that, I'm going to take that out so I don't have that making a big bump in there. And so I'm going to grab my ruler. And I actually think on this one, I'm just going to, I'm just going to put it a little off the center. Let's see. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to use a pencil, you guys. I'm just going to use a pencil this time. So I'm going to draw one here. We just kind of want a slight indication that there's, you know, our thing. And then I'm going to go over on this side. I'm going to do another one. I hope I'm getting those. Well, I've got these lines here. I don't know why I'm not using those in the ruler, right? And I'll just do another little line here. There we go. So now it looks like it's got this shirt. And now I'm going to put some, I'm going to give it some buttons. We're going to have metal buttons. How about that? And I'm going to use these. I'm going to use these brass paper fasteners. So we've got some metal buttons on our shirt. How about that? So I want to use something and poke a hole in so I am less apt to tear my paper. So I want to kind of look and see where this probably is going to go best. And I kind of like it right here to start with. So I'm going to put one here. Okay, and then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to make my next hole where I want it to end. And this is always a good tip for when you're trying to put things evenly. If you've got some stuff to space out, this is a good way to do it. So I'm going to put one there. Now I'm going to eyeball it. And I mean, you could, if it was really important to you and you want it to match exactly, you could, you know, measure. Now I'm just going to do it by looking. And so I'm going to put my next one here. And now I've got two other things that I can look at and put halfway there. I've got a little mat thing to poke things through somewhere. Somewhere. Okay. So now I'm just going to put these little paper fasteners in here. Now, one thing about when you make things with metal, or like little brass paper fasteners or whatever, if you wanted them a different color, and this goes with a lot of things, if you wanted it a different color, you could simply use an alcohol marker or a Sharpie, and it will color a piece of metal like that. I make it look easy, huh? Excellent. Well, it is kind of easy, really. A lot of these things just, you know, take some time. It's not that they are difficult. You just have to have some directions and a little time, right? Pull out your supplies and you can do it. Now, because this is not pretty right here, I would probably want to put another piece of something in there. And actually, I do have, let's see. I know we cut this piece off. Let me look around my desk in a second and see if I can find the part we cut off. And it might be just enough to put in here and cover these up. Well, you know, sometimes these are old. And I think anymore when they make these, one side is a lot different in height. Well, these are too now that I'm looking at them. I'm just having trouble. I'm going to use something and kind of be able to pry them apart, but be careful, you guys. Well, that doesn't seem smart, does it? It just seems like a really bad idea. Oh, no. What in the world? And then every time I pull it, I feel like I'm pulling the wrong side. Well, if I could get them to separate. I did it. I finally got it. Good grief. I guess instead of just being the boss of my paper, I better be boss of the paper fasteners. Oh my goodness. All right. Hang on one second. And usually an uneven number of, you know, buttons makes it work. These buttons are kind of large. Oh, there we go. Woohoo! Got that one done easier. Do you have a weeding tool? Yeah, I do. That seemed dangerous too, though. Oh, yeah, something so pokey. Okay, there we go. You know, one side of those does stick up just enough that really you should be able to make that kind of easy. Okay, look, this is going to be perfect. I'm going to slide this in to cover up the brads. You know, some people call them brads. That's what we've called them, I think, forever. And some people call them paper fasteners. Okay, so here's the deal. It needs to be not go any farther than like really that halfway point. And that's going to be the best place to put it. And I'm just going to kind of mark this. And then I'm just going to fold it and cut it by hand. And that will give me enough to cover that. And I'm just going to use some glue stick on this too. Let's find my piece I was gluing on. And if you use the same piece, you know, I mean, sometimes you got to be careful that you're not getting it on other things. But if you wait long enough in between, then it's not even, you know, your glue has dried. So you're not at risk of getting glue on the front side from something that you're trying to do. Did that even make sense? Sometimes I say things and it's like, did that even make sense to anybody? Just watch, right? I guess I'm more used to you guys just watching. Look, that got a little bit too high up there. Those things are really big. And you guys, I thought I had some really cute little teeny tiny buttons, and I have used them for this before. And when I went to get them this morning, I couldn't find them. So I don't know what's happened to them. They probably got not put away in the correct location. So, but they are just cute as can be when you use them for something like this. They're like tiny buttons that you would use on, like, if you've ever seen like any little tiny baby clothes with little dresses, little tiny buttons. It's that kind of button, very small. And these are almost too big. But, you know, I think it works. What do you guys think? Does it make it look like it's a work shirt? I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Do you think it looks like a work shirt? I don't know. You know, you don't have to put it on here. And you could leave, if you wanted to, just put that. Leave it here. You could put it inside if you wanted to. Whatever you want to do. You could. It could be a surprise in here. You could write something out here. I don't know. I like my cards to be very, very usable for different things. Like if I wanted to give this to, you know, a nephew or something. Maybe I have an adult nephew that's for Father's Day or anything. I mean, it doesn't even have to be Father's Day. If it's just anything, maybe even a birthday, right? This could even be a birthday card. And, you know, if you're going to do something like this, and it just, and, you know, and honestly, you could do this and it wouldn't even have to be for a guy, right? I mean, we have work areas. Probably we don't call them workshops so much, but, you know, you could certainly do that. I don't know. This one, we got birdhouses being made in here and all kinds of little cars and all kinds of stuff. It doesn't have a very feminine look though, right? I don't know. Oh my goodness, we still have almost half an hour. Should we try to make another one? Let me see. Let me see what I got handy, you guys. Well, we could make another. I just don't have any more. Let me show you what it would look like if we used. Let me grab a different paper. Let me see what I've got. And I'll show you how it could look totally different. Don't leave me. Oh, I cute check and it wasn't. Here, this will be cute. This will make a plain one, but this will work. This paper is a little bit heavier, so it's gonna be a little bit more challenging to work with, but it'll work. And then, or we could use this. There's two sides. Which one should we use? Should we try this one with the bigger print, or this with the more? This is like a real tiny stripe. And it's horizontal, or not horizontal, it's like a diagonal print. It might actually be kind of fun to see how that would look. Let's see, if we fold it like this, well, the diagonal is going to go, that almost hurts your eyes probably looking at it up there, right? But this would be kind of cool for a guy's shirt. You know, and I probably have some little white enamel dots that we could just use for buttons on this one. Let's do it. We'll cut it now, and then we can decide what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use this. If I cut it from, oh my goodness, you guys. Let me cut it from this way. So we needed 9.5 inches. So I'm just gonna cut all of this here. 9.5 by 6.5. This will give you a chance to hear at least those dimensions again. 9.5 by 6.5. Okay. And then again, we don't measure all these because they're basically origami folds. This actually wouldn't look too bad with this base either. So what do you want me to do? Shall I use the little stripe or the pattern? Either one would work. Stripe or pattern. I'm taking audience participation. Stripe or pattern, stripe or pattern. Oh, I got into something. Those aren't even the comments from my live. I'm like, what is that? What's going on? I don't know. But it wasn't that. Okay. Thanks for coming in, and if you're just getting here, we're gonna do another one of the little origami shirts. So what do you think? Hey, Michelle. The tiny, small print or large print? Which one? Small or large? Hey, Ray, how are you doing? So we're going to make another little shirt. I love these things because, you know, all the measuring you do is your piece of paper. Danita says the stripe. Okay, she wants to do the stripe. She's the first one that's answered, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so fold it in half. This one is going to be easier to look at, to fold, you guys. Hey, Jeannie. So much easier. I can see it. And now you're going to take this one and fold to the center fold. Like that. Give it a nice crease. Fold the other one. I just like to flip it around. It's easier for me to fold from right to left. It's still going to end up in the same place. Okay. So there we go. And be sure and crease it good. That helps. Give it a good crease. And now we're going to fold it over this way. And then you're going to fold down. So your fold line, or your open fold, is going to be on the back. You're going to fold it down about 1/2 inch or so. Try to get that kind of even. Give that another score. Give it a press, not a score. We're going to press it down. And then we are going to, oh my goodness. Hang on. I have a cheat sheet. Hang on. I have a cheat sheet. I hadn't made one of these in a long time. I had to get out my sheet. Okay, so fold it like, it's gonna blow away. Okay, yeah, so now then we take it like this, turn it back so our line is open. Okay, this is a part for some reason that I always, you know, it takes me a second. Okay, now we're gonna fold this, and you bring the top edge here of your collar to the fold line. Okay, that's all there is. And then fold it, give it a press out here, fold this again this way, bring the little collar into the fold, kind of match them up there, because you don't want your collar points uneven. Okay, so there we go. Fold it like that. And then this, you bring it up far enough that don't fold this tight yet. Fold this up like this. Make sure it'll go under those collar points. Fold those down like that, and that's going to be where it kind of locks in place. Kind of make it even. Like that. Okay, now you can fold down here and give it a good crease. This is a lot heftier than doing it on a piece that you have printed out. Okay, so now we've got that. And now we're going to open this back up. And now from where this is creased here to here, we're going to fold this part out and make another crease. So just, you know, kind of hold your finger there. And you may not, I mean, it might be kind of in a little bit from the edge right here. See, I've got a little bit of a fold like that. It's not right at the corner. It's kind of hard to get it all the way to the end here. Again, you know, I don't have it. It's close. It's not exact, but that's going to be fine. And then just do the same over here. Get it as close as you can, and you'll be good. You just don't want it to be folded back over there. Okay, now when you fold it up, you've got your sleeves. Short sleeves, but sleeves. And now we can put it under here. I don't know that guy's. So when it's kind of loose like this, and you're just going to pull it up here, I mean, it'll eventually, you'll get it to lay down, and then once it's in there, because you still are going to have to open it up, right? So there's our shirt like that, and now again, you can draw. My pen that I would prefer to use is not here, and I don't really want to mess it up with a icky line, so I'm just going to use pencil again, all right? So we'll just make a little line off to the side here. So this is just like your little, oops. I'm going to do it like this. And look, I already got that messed up. Good thing I used pencil. Okay, so just a little line. And you know, sometimes pencil, you think pencil seems like it would be a wrong thing to use, but you know, sometimes really a little pencil mark is just enough to give you, you know, the idea of something there. And now I can actually line this up and make, I can see, ew, there's something all blurred up there on my ruler. So now we've got our little placket there, okay? And then we could put, you know, this looks like a little bit fancier of a shirt. And I did find some white buttons, or these aren't buttons still. I still don't know where my fun little buttons are. Okay, there's enough of these to use, so that'll work. And because I have no idea how long I've had these or how sticky they are, I'm just going to give them a little bit of help with a tiny drop of glue behind where I'm going to put them, okay? So again, we can just put, we're going to, you know, let me draw a little thing. So we can space them out, and we can put one up here and then one down here. And then if I turn it, I can see where I want to do it. So I'm going to put another one here. So, you know, then it just makes it easy to center things like that. You know, you don't have to really measure, and then I think you'll be happy with, you know, where they are, right? Okay. And then let me just glue them in. Just use a little bit of glue. You guys, we're just speeding through this today. And then I like to just take these off here. Now, we could use the little tiny buttons or the bigger buttons. This size is actually about the size of those tiny little buttons I was telling you about. That I don't know where they are. I actually think I'm going to use these little small ones and see how they look. I think that'll be cute. And just slide that into place. You know, a lot of times, you know, you don't really think, you think you need something that's going to be a totally different color. But, you know, sometimes tone on tone can really be nice. And yeah, these, you know, now the one thing about using those bigger ones, they're big enough that you probably could have used like an alcohol marker and made a teeny tiny dot. If you've got something with a small enough tip, you could make little dots and make it look like buttonholes. Put that on there. Well, I certainly have totally mistimed this today. So there we go. So this is what it would look like with, you know, with this kind of a print. Like that. And now you got a little thing. And then, of course, then now we don't have to mess around with trying to get anything in here. And now we could use that. Oh, we did. Where did we put the gift card? Well, I told my husband to bring that gift card home. And now, oh, here it is. Because it actually has a dab of money on it. Not a lot, but it does have some. And so now, see, now we don't have to mess around. We had to put this thing in, and you can see it's kind of lumpy in here to cover up where we put the brads, because the little legs on the brads are down there, right? And so now we can just put our gift card in here and slide it up here. And this is actually going to be, it's going to be okay with our little card base. My goodness, you guys. What in the world? I'm working here in this big of a spot and I can't, oh, here it is. Like, what in the world? So, I mean, we could have even put this one on here. Now we got a gift, and our gift is actually on the outside. Or like I said, you could just do this and use this as the front. And, you know, I don't even always feel like I have to have a big sentiment across the front of things. That's just me. You know, a lot of other people do. And you could put this in here if you wanted to. But now then, and you pretty much have to let them know that there's something inside, right? You have to tell them. But you can find some of my very favorite kinds of stamp sets are ones that have all kinds of things on them, like, you know, all the occasions, or something that might even be as simple as it says celebrate. And I've actually done one of these that was it was meant to be a Father's Day card, but you know, that was all I could find at the moment, and I just put celebrate. And this thing is big enough. This is a 6x6 card, and and the reason I did that is because, if you're wondering why in the world I did that, because this is already over 5 inches. So even a 5x7 card, this is gonna be, the sleeves would be hanging off the edges, right? And I mean, you could, if you want to make your own size of a card, you could. I mean, if you made a card that was 5.5 inches, you know, it would work. Or yeah, it would have to be 5.5 inches across. But it's very different, and people are not used to seeing square cards, you know, that often. So that by itself, it makes it kind of fun, right? It makes it kind of fun and different. People like fun and different, you know, they just do. And it makes it stand out. It makes it, you know, even more special. So I got people coming through. Let's see. Okay, well, oh my goodness, you guys, I just cannot believe. Well, we probably have time to actually do a sentiment. Let me grab what I've got sitting right here, and let's see if we can find something. I've got, let me see, here's one of these that I like to use. Let's look at it. And you know, who knows if it'll say anything we can use. Well, it has one that says thinking of you or for you. Oh, it does say Father's Day. Look, I lucked out. It says Father's Day. Let's do that. We'll just make one now. And let's put it on here. And one easy way to do that is to just plop your stamp down and then just grab it like this, because that way it's on there. Because these whatever you call them, this isn't photopolymer, those kinds of stamps are you know, they can get wiggly because they're not firm, they're not already on a block, and so they can get a little bit wiggly. And so if you plop it down and make it straight like where you want it and then press down, or you might have one of the stamp platforms, and that's the same way. I mean, you know, you can press it, put it down, and then close your lid, and you have a better chance of getting it straight, right? So let's find, oh, here's, no, that's not, that won't work. Well, will it? Let me see, you guys. Let me find some paper thick enough to use for that. Might have to use the back of something I printed. You guys, I'm surprised how quickly I got through this. Here we're, well, we could print, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut one of these out and put it inside. We could put one of these on the left side. You know, sometimes they have something inside. Let's do that. Let's cut it out. Which one should we use? Measure once, cut twice, Farm and Company. I don't know. It'll be kind of Home Sweet Home. Handmade. I don't know if you're gonna, this would be fun. If we're gonna do, oh, we're given the Home Depot card. Let's use this one. And this one got printed kind of wonky, so I don't want to, I'm gonna remove the border because the border doesn't go all the way around. So let's just do that. We'll put this on the inside. Give it a little bit more interest in there. And then since I've already got this cut, then I will use the back of this paper to stamp that Father's Day thing on. Except I don't really want it to be plain white. We could edge around the edge. So that we could glue this right here. That's kind of fun to put in here. Except that looks boring. Let's give it a little ink on the edge. Look, I'm going to have worried all this time about being able to fill my time, and then I'm going to be like racing at the end to finish what I decided I would do, right? You know, that's the hardest part, is trying to make sure that that what you're doing either fills your time or you're done on time. Right? Do you agree? Okay, let's put this down and we'll go ahead and use our glue stick again. Make it flat, make it easy. It's already here. Let's do it. Okay. You can still write something over there. And that's not too wet either. We'll just put it here. Kind of in the middle. Try to get it straight. It's up too high. You know, even if it's not straight, it's going to look cute. Crooked. Okay, there. I think we got it. Just give it a good press it down. Okay, so we got that. That's inside. And now let's go back to, and we can put this on here. Which one should we put down? We'll have to glue one on. We need to glue it down so we know where to put our greeting. Well, actually, our greeting is not going to be able to be very big. Well, you know what? It's going to have to sit down in here. And that's going to cover up part of our stuff. Oh, well. What did I do with that card? Oh, you guys. Here it is. I really know what I'm doing. Maybe. Do I? But do I? Okay, and then this, because this does not have a backing to it, it doesn't have a cushion. You should put a cushion under it so you can get this on here. You know, I probably would be better off to cut a little piece first to make sure it's straight. And then I can eyeball where it is, right? Okay, so that's the edge of the paper. So that's going to be straight. I just want a little piece. Well, I guess I better make sure it fits. Yeah, just little. Oh, that's the wrong end. And let's see how big we want it. I don't want it big. I just don't. Because I just don't have that much room for it to go on the front there. So coming up after me is going to, we got people all day long. So coming up after me is going to be Deborah from Sacred Sew. So you want to make sure all you have to do is, just refresh your browser. Okay. So let's go ahead and stamp this. I'm pretty sure this has been used before. This isn't the best ink to use for that, but it is what it is. Okay. Let's put it here in the middle. Okay. It's not exactly in the middle. Let me trim it off a tiny bit. But, you know, and I bet you anything that stamp set is probably meant to, there's probably a happy on there to make Happy Father's Day. And you don't always have to have special tools to ink. You can just drag a little on. Drag a little bit on here. Okay. And now we can put this on here. It looks rustic. Looks rustic, like it should be from the workshop. We could either put this over here, we could put it over here. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff we could do. Some people, it really bothers, well, for one thing, if I was going to give this to my husband, it would need to be straight. Oh, this isn't bad. We could put it over here, move it a little bit this way, and then put this down here. I kind of like that. Let's do that. Let's do it. Just put it right here. I hope that ink is dry. I don't want it smeared around. And then we'll put this here. And so really, all you're going to do is you're going to glue this one section in the back. Don't glue anything else if you want it to be able to open. Okay, just that part. So then we can move it over here. Make sure your sleeves are on the page. I'm coloring it up there. And then just press that part down. Okay. And then your card can go right in here. So, I mean, you know, these are really kind of fun because, you know, your shirt is just going to look totally different depending on what kind of paper you use, or, you know, the buttons. You could just draw your buttons on if you want. Just use a little thing. And so there you go. Now you got a little card. So we gave him a work shirt. But anyway, I hope you guys like that. I hope you'll give it a try sometime. And there you have it. Whew. So I don't know what kind of things everybody's going to be doing. So it's a gift for Dad, is what the event is. The title of the event, a gift for Dad. So this dad gets a Home Depot gift card, and then you've got room in here that you can, you know, write something special. You know, sometimes it's when we write something special that makes it special, right? So, you know, everybody wants to feel like they're seen and cared about, and, you know, that even goes to the dads, even though they don't act like they care, right? They do. They care. Everybody cares. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to, you know that somebody is thinking of them, or, you know, yeah, everybody wants to be a little bit special, and we should try to make everybody feel a little special. Do you know that that's even if you see somebody and just give them a smile? You know, just acknowledge that they exist. Sometimes it might be the only smile they see for the day. And, you know, it really can make such a difference in somebody's life. And that sounds it sounds like such an easy thing that really wouldn't matter, but it does. It could matter to somebody and make a real difference. You know, it really can. So I hope that you will do that and purposefully, you know, acknowledge people, you know, in your life. Everybody needs to know that they are special, right? Hey there, Renee and Missy. Oh, you guys, I'm glad you like it. It's fun. And like I said, the prints are this is from this month's freebie collection that goes out in my newsletter. And so, you know, if you're interested in that, you can find that on my website, myartfuladventures.com. And there's a place you can do that right on the front page. You don't even have to hunt far, you guys. I try to make it easy. But, you know, I mean, this covers up a whole lot of what you could see of the fun little print. But you can tell it's a workshop, right? So I think that was my goal for this card. And I think I managed it this time. So you guys have a wonderful day, and be sure and check out all the other creators today over in Sacred Treasure House. It's on Facebook, and you can just roll through and refresh your browser from one person to the next, and you'll be ready to go. So let's go over and see what Deborah is doing today for her her segment in A Gift for Dad. I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.